Alright, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get that perfect pet that you've probably always been after in Wizard101. So whether you're a new player or you've been playing for years, pet training is kind of one of those things. As you can see in Pet Pavilion, it is quite difficult to understand sometimes, especially with the way KingsOut designed it. So but with some dedication to learning this part, you can definitely allow your wizard to reach its full potential. Now, if you've been playing for a while, you've likely seen other players with a special pet you're probably trying to get after. Please, just a moment of remembrance for the lucky ones. Now, just to clarify, I will not be covering each school because the process is very similar amongst all the schools. So the abilities you're looking for and the pet you hatch are usually determinative of the effectiveness of the pet within your school. So I'd say with all that out of the way, it's time to get started. So if you've been playing for a while, you've probably seen the two numbers by the your pet's name. These are the pedigrees. So this is the overall pedigree for your pet, and then this would be the manifested talent pedigree. So in total, your pet can manifest 5 talents, one for each level. So baby to teen, teen to adult, adult to ancient, ancient to epic, epic to mega, and then at ultra, I believe it just receives a jewel socket. So these are the 5 talents, and they are pretty much random, except for the fact that there is a full talent view. By clicking down here, this button down here, you can see the rarity of the different talents you have. Now there's 10 overall, but like I said, you can only manifest 5, so just keep that in mind. Additionally, you're also going to have 5 derby talents. Now, I don't do derbies, and a lot of people don't really like them, so I won't be really covering them today. But the talents you get from derby aren't really very good, so it wouldn't necessarily be something that I would go after. I would also like to thank Lucas Silverblade because in a previous video I mistakenly went to the hatching kiosk to click full talent view, and I really appreciate the information allowing me to see all the possible talents, so I really appreciate it. So before I get too into the video, I just want to dispel any confusion people may have about pedigree. Pedigree doesn't necessarily denote how good a pet is. It designates the rarity of the talents it can possibly obtain. So the rarity is not the chance you'll get the talent, but the value of the ability the talent actually gives you. So for example, a pet with a very high pedigree manifests theoretically better talents, but these talents may not be what you actually want. So for example, these higher, like ultra rare talents would denote a higher pedigree for your overall score, and then if you manifest those traits, it would obviously be a higher manifested pedigree score. So while this next part isn't as important, I still wanted to mention it just because I think it's important to understand the overall idea of pedigree. But you'll see down here, these are the rarity of the talents that your pet can manifest. So down here, it's going to be common talents, uncommon talents, rare talents, ultra rare talents, and then epic talents. So each number on your pedigree is going to designate how many possible epic talents that this could get. So for example, every epic talent is worth 10 points. So if you have one epic talent, it's going to be worth 10 points in your overall pedigree. Now, if you have ultra rare talents, it's going to be worth 8, 6, 4, and 2, and so on. And so when you actually manifest them, your number will be a lot lower than your total overall pedigree. All right, so I just wanted to give a example of what a pet looks like that, you know, has the desired traits that I wanted, but doesn't necessarily have an extremely high pedigree, because the overall, like the highest overall one is about 100, and then it would be about 50 for manifested talent. So you can see here there are a bunch of talents that aren't necessarily super rare because there isn't. You'll see there's some uncommon talents, or well, there's a uncommon talent, and there's a couple other ones that aren't so rare. And then you'll also see that I have some very rare talents that are what I wanted as well. So it's kind of a mixture of what you're trying to get and what the person you're hatching with has. So I would just try to think about that. But this is a good example. You'll see here it lines up nicely. So, and additionally for new players, I just wanted to apologize for some confusion I may have created in a previous video. In one of my tip videos, I mentioned sticky talents were talents that reappear in future generations of your pet. And so upon doing some more research in preparation for this video, I found that the only talents that are more likely to appear on your pet are those that have been manifested. So the traits that you actually have on your pet here are more likely to come up. There isn't necessarily a such thing as a sticky talent. Okay, so for this part of the video, I'm just going to be going over an example of training a pet and trying to get certain talents. So you'll see here I started with the lowest possible overall and relative pedigree, and now I'm just going to train the first generation of the pet to adult. Now, I just bought this pet from the pet shop in Pet Pavilion, but you can really get your pet from anywhere. The idea is that, you know, the lower the pedigree your starting pet is, the more likely you'll get some of the talents you want later on. So I would just stick with that. And so you can see here, we didn't really get something too crazy for the first level. That wasn't that great of a spell. And then Hardy isn't that great either. So I'm just going to go back over, and as you can see there, I'm just going to go back, search for another pet. You see I'm searching by talent, so I searched a couple talents that I wanted, and now I'm going through, and I'm not even going to compromise at all. Like, I want, I'm looking at all of the spells that, or all of the talents that the pet has, and I'm making sure every single one is one I want, because there's a chance that it'll just copy over. So I do want to just make sure that I'm picking talents that I want, and of course aligning with my school. So now that I've found a pet that I wanted to hatch with, I'm now going to start training up again. You'll see once again, didn't get some great talents. I got wise and dodged. So now I'm just going to be checking out another pet. You'll see I found one. Now you're probably not going to be able to hatch with the same pet every time, because people frequently take them off of the hatching thing. So you'll see here, this is just sort of an example, but I just wanted to show the process. You'll see my talents are starting to shift more towards the talents that I want, because I'm just hatching over and over again. So you'll see I got the Ice Giver talent, and while the Infallible talent isn't great, it's still better than what I had before, which was like Mighty. So you'll see now I got Ice Stealer on this generation. I believe this is the 4th generation at this point. And you can see I was training this pet up to Ancient just to give an example of, see if I could keep going, but you'll see I kind of failed with Unicorn. But at that point, I would just go back, hatch with the next generation of the pet, and just continue from there. So if you like today's video, just don't forget to leave a like, but I appreciate everybody watching, so I will see you next time.